Hi all. Right, welcome back to Enemy Action Kharkov Soviet Soul Take 2. Now this will be part 64. Is it? No, sorry, 65. 65, because I had 64 as a long part. I've since split it up. I was going to leave it at first, but it was 2 hours and 10 minutes long, but that's not the main reason I'm split it. The main reason is because I spotted a mistake. Yeah, who would have thought? Yet another mistake. Well, I need to fix it, and I can fix it. I think. Well, I can definitely fix it. There's maybe some sort of slight. Well, I don't think so. I think it's good enough. And it's just about to happen. This error, as you continue watching, because I'm going to put this bit in at the beginning of part. What did I just say? 65, isn't it? So you'll see the error happen. I'm going to put some wee notes in the headers of videos to point out as well, in case some of you maybe don't actually watch this bit and then see the next bit unfolding. So I've just cut in the middle of thinking we've just made an attack here, haven't we? Well, you can see that's where I finished the video, and I was then looking at the next move. Now you can see this unit's moved into here, and this is what the problem is, because I've realised that unit should have been restricted from moving because he's removed surround from this Soviet unit. So he shouldn't have left this hex. And right throughout the impulse, I don't think he would have done anything whatsoever. I'm going to double check. Well, why not just look at it just now, Grant? Because we then moved on. Right, I don't want to spoil things. What did we have? We had bold attack, and then the second action card was advance. Well, you can see that he wouldn't be advancing. He's already adjacent. And he's not going to move because he's any movement's breaking the surround of this unit. It doesn't matter where he moves to, even if he moves to here. While he's here, he's keeping these units surrounded. So he's not going to move at all. Yeah, so he's not going to carry out any action at all. So he's going to go back to here, which I'm going to repair in a minute. The reason I'm only showing you that wee portion of the map here, where the area is I started recording this at first and showing a bit more, and then I've obviously finished this impulse. It wasn't till watching it back that I noticed the error. So some things have moved on a little bit, and I actually started recording the next part as well. My next impulse, which has no effect on this, and I just started the next German impulse after that, so just caught that in time, because that might have had that effect if I'd carried on. So yeah, basically I want to move this guy back. What will end up happening is, when he moves here, he's moving there for a combat, and you'll see it. It means that there's going to be one chip pool drawn extra that shouldn't have been drawn, and the odds are going to be slightly less. I've looked at things, and it will alter the combat slightly, and I will fix that. You'll see it actually benefits myself here, but the guy should never have moved to here, so that's that. But I'm pretty sure the combat should have still went ahead. I'm going to double check these things, and the combat goes slightly differently. Like I say, the one sort of glitch, it's not a big deal, but I draw 5 chits and I should only be drawing 4. Well, that 5th chit wouldn't have been drawn at the cup. I've since moved on, had another combat where the chits got mixed in, and you know, it's just that one chit that just got left that should have been in the cup still. I'm just going to have to live with that part of it, but I feel like it's better having that and having this sorted, you know. So yeah, so you'll see it unfolding. You'll see. So I'm basically pointing out the error before it actually happens. 2 or 3 little things to talk about. I don't want to show the rest of the map, but this carry on about trying to get round this unit, kind of just go up a little bit in the way, yeah, I think we're alright there. Where I try and come through this, it's as if I'm like, I don't see this big stack of Soviet units. I don't know if something's putting me off with the blue cubes, because it seems to be, that's 2 occasions recently where I've totally ignored units with a blue cube on top, as if it's like, oh, you can't go there, taboo. That's when I'm trying to get round here to trace. Now, have you seen this yet or not? Maybe not. But I'm trying to see if these guys could get round to be involved in the combat around here. There's no way, they're not proximate, because I trace it, right? I break zone of control from here and I go 1, 2. Well, I can't do that. This is a zone of control of a Soviet unit anyway. I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and say that I can get into here and I can get into this hex next to it, I think. I can't, because I can't go through there. I'm going to have to go up further around, and I've not got the movement to do it. So yeah, that's just a lot of nonsense. I'll put a wee note in there. Fortunately, I don't do that move and we go ahead and this is attack. Yeah, I think you've already seen that actually. So you would already seen that daftness. But fortunately we do make the attack on this guy instead. Which that was all fine. It's just the next attack you're going to see is what has the error. But I've looked at it and think, if I put the unit back, adjust the combat, and then everything else is, think, as is, it's not got any issues. A couple other little things. When I'm checking for the Kampf group, when I'm checking for the Army Group South Kampf group, there is, I'm not going to show you up the map, there is another option for 9 units. Again, it's further west, so this would still be in the easterly selection. So it's just when I was looking, I thought, oh, that's within it as well. And then I won't go down and show you. I make a wee pop-off move down in the very left-hand corner of the map, where I go out and I think I'm needing to break zone of control and move the unit. But it's no big deal. But I'm like, Grant, you don't need to break zone of control. Just move into the hex. And then the one other thing is, I see myself again. This part might not have happened yet, but I talk about bold attack having the advantage of ending your move in dangerous round, and it doesn't matter, the bold attack. And then I proceed to, just after saying it, I proceed to discuss whether this unit can move, whether he was in dangerous round to start with, and if he can end in dangerous round. And I think it's funny, like, you might say, well, you've just talked about that, Grant, you can clearly end in dangerous round. Anyway, right, okay, right, I'll try and keep that as short as that, I think. And so you're going to see a lot of footage now with this unit in this place. And he should be in here, and the combat that he's involved in should be slightly different. Well, of course he shouldn't be involved in it. Then things should carry on as normal, and I've not viewed the next again bit of footage that I've started doing, but like I say, as for the Allied impulse, it's away up the other end of the map, and the next German impulse, I think I just started it, and so we should be okay with that. But I'll have a look at all that. So yeah, like I say, I'm annoyed. I'm making these mistakes. I'm maybe being a little hard on myself, because they are quite hard to keep track of. You know what I mean? It looks simple when you see it now. Well, Grant, you clearly don't break this restriction. But see, when you're doing it and you're thinking about other things, you're thinking about, right, how do I move that guy? Where does he move to? How much strength is he bringing? Is he, he's adding chip pools, and you're thinking of other restrictions. I probably may well have been thinking, right, is he in dangerous round? Well, that wouldn't have mattered because the bold attack. But no, I think I actually talk about the fact that am I leaving this guy in dangerous round by moving him. So I actually discuss that, and I think we look at that, but we don't look at the simple fact that this guy is surrounded. Again, a guy with a blue cube on him. I don't know, maybe there's something in that maybe they're invisible to me or something with that blue cube. Anyway, okay, right, I'll just leave it at that. So we'll now return to the normal viewing that's got the error in it, obviously, of me considering what happens next with still within the Army Group South activation and the bold attack card. Okay, right, and I'll just start from here. So like I say, I tried to cut it right at a bit. I've maybe not made the best job at it, but it's just a continuation of where we left off from part 64. Okay, cheers guys. So hopefully. Right, okay, well that's them. That's their units done their thing. We've checked Unit 3, so what would be next in line to have a look? Because we've still got, he's a 7 down there, just, a little bit grand. Yeah, he's a 7, but we've got a 6 in here. These are 2 10s. We've already checked the 3, but we've got a 6 in here, and he's stacked to another unit as well. So, and how much strength was it? 5 grand. Bear in mind, 1's infantry, so if it does move, then... So anyway, 5 strength. So can it get 1.5 to 1? Well, it's adjacent to 4 strength. However, that gets again, it doesn't get the +1 for the IP because we've got engineers on the card. It doesn't get a +1. There's nobody adjacent, so it's going to get a -1. So it's 3. So it's 5 to 3. Oh, is that? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I kind of thought it did. I think I said before 5 to 3. I just can't work them out. So I've got to go and divide it on the calculator. It sounds like... You think I'd be able to work it out by now as well, though I've done it enough times, but it just throws me all the pot. So, yeah, these guys here, so 5... Let's just double check this. Yeah, it's 4 strength, and it's going to get a -1. Because, let's look at the right bit. It says in IP, not if attack has engineer's tactic. Well, like I say, we do have the engineer's tactic on the attack card, so we don't count that as a +1. Defender resistant to supplied Soviet unit. It is not, so it's not getting that one. That's the one that kind of usually benefits from. All the rest don't apply apart from that the German command card is a value of 5. So that gives a -1 to that guy. So he's not a 4, he's a 3. And 5 to 3 is 1.66 to 1, so it's above 1.5 just. So that is good. Now, is there another option? This guy's going to get a +1, even though he's a 3 though. Right? No, I don't even get in at him though, can we? No, we can't get in here. Yeah, so we can't get at him. We can get at him. He's already been checked and attacked for that matter. And this is a 4, but he's going to get the +1, -1, so he's going to stay at a 4. Well, that would have been staying at a 4 as well. We can't get away into this guy. Yeah, no, that's that. That's only one he can check. So this is going to go though. So again, we are adjacent. Now hang on though, Grant, hang on. Because your assumption before was that this unit, even though we've decided the situation is going to apply, I think we still move this unit first because he's selector number 3. Is that not right? I always struggle with this stuff. Hang on then. Give me a second. Yeah, I'm sure I've got this right, because although we're checking this as a lead unit, we're understanding that the situation is going to apply. And then once the situation applies, I mean that was only counting this unit stack to find out if it was going to satisfy it. We then carry the action, and it's all active units proximate to qualifying target move to target and attack. Now you would do that in ascending order. So this is an active unit, and it is going to be proximate to this. So it's going to move first. So that's the unit that's going to move first. So he's going to now he's got to go out. He can't go in there, and he can't get around into there. He's only going to be able to go into the hex. This is the thing. It's just going to be an attack of these 3 units. So I'll move that out of the way just now. He's actually going to go move out 1, 2, breaking zone of control, and back in. And the other 2 units that are there do not have an option. They can't, even though they're adjacent here, there's no other hexes that they can reach. Yeah, that's right. There's no other hexes they can reach. So they're going to stay there. And even this unit 7, he can't get in on the action here either, because yeah, he can't go out and in either. So again, it's just the attack from the 1 hex, I think. Because well, the other units that could get involved are the infantry, but same thing. The stack is full now. We cannot access any of these hexes adjacent to the target. So yeah, that's going to be that, I think. So these 3 are going to attack. Well, strength of 9. 4, 7, 9. So it's going to be 9 against 4. And just definitely feel that, yeah, this guy can't get involved, can he? Definitely not. And these 2 cannot either, because this is the only hex that we can access, and it's now fully stacked. Yeah, I'm good with that. I'm going to leave that there, but it should be in that hex. Okay, right, well, let's just carry out another attack then. Sorry if I'm being a bit slow about this, I'm just wanting to make sure. I maybe should be, again, pausing a bit more, but we'll see. So, moved all the units adjacent, apply combat tactics called for by the action card. Well, we've got engineers, and this time, as we know, it's going to remove the IP from the units. So, engineers on attack, remove an IP marker from the defender if present, and then if no IP, and we cannot play combat engineers. So he removes the IP with the combat engineers. Yeah, this is a bit more of a worrying battle, I think. I feel more concerned about this one than the last one. Well, let's see what the numbers are. So is, what did I say? Was it 9? 9, and there's 3 2-step units. So it's 9 to 4. So it is only 2 to 1. It is only 2 to 1. And at the moment he's got 1, 2, 3 chip pools and 1 for the engineers, who's sitting at 4 chip pools, but we've got to draw another card, obviously. So we will do that now. And he gets artillery, so that is going to apply, and gives him another chip pool. So 2 to 1, 5 chip pools maximum. We've got a minimum of 2. Do we have armour this time? Yeah, we do. So we do have an armoured unit and a mechanised infantry. Again, it's in a clear hex, which worked out alright for us last time. However, we don't have the defender adjacent, which is the chip that we really scored on last time. So, well, if we were to consider a tank brigade again this time, that would increase. Ooh, that would be interesting. That would give us 5 strength. That would be 9 against 5. So he wouldn't have 2 to 1. He'd drop to 1.5 to 1. And we get to avoid a hit. Other option could be air power again, like I said before. They're not playing air power this time, they're playing artillery. Again, they'll both take cars on my replacement points, and just, I know they're for the weakest of my armies, really, aren't they? 69th Army and the 1st Guards Army, they're not exactly that strong, but right, how bad would this be though, that if they push these guys back? I mean, the problem here is they'd only need D3 to get an elimination of one of them. Yeah, retreat, and then stetos, because they're only single steps. They are only getting 5 chip pulls though. We've both got armour. It's a 1 hex attack. It's a clear hex. I don't have a defender adjacent. They've got artillery. Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to take my chances again. Could be silly this time. I maybe should just accept I got away with it last time. And right, okay, so I'm going to take my chances. Right, so it's a minimum of 2, maximum of 5. So I'll go and get the 2 to get us started. Not so good start this time. This was the first chat artillery, and look, it's just mocking me with the air power chat that I could have contemplated. That would have been nice, wouldn't it? But nah. So, and they've got artillery. I forgot to check. They do have 6 steps. So again, they are going to break off at A2 if it comes to it. So unfortunately, we're sitting at D1. Not what I wanted to see. They're going to draw the next 3 chats. Well, one at a time anyway. So we'll get the next one. That was funny. I first looked at it, I thought, oh no, because I kind of thought the last battle we didn't have armour. I thought, oh no, we've got an armoured unit. He's the one down below is an armoured unit. I thought that's alright then, but look at that one. That's only between on turns 1 to 5. So yeah, need to watch that. So that doesn't actually apply at all. Even if we didn't have the armour there, that wouldn't have applied. Right, 2 to come. So we'll get the 4th chat. City or attack not supported on the front, clear on the back. I was like turning over hoping for a good clear, but we've got an in between, and they did have greater than 5 steps. It was 6 steps, wasn't it? Yeah. So well, it's actually greater than or equal to 5. Break off at A2, so they are sitting at A1 and it's D2. They need D4 to eliminate both the units, so they're going to carry on and draw this last chat. Okay, here we go. Oh, that was brutal. Here was me talking about possibly reducing the odds to 1.5 to 1, wasn't it? But, well, that would just all counted. So they are at 2 to 1. I mean, it does give them the A2 as well, but however, D3... means we're losing one of the units. Oh, damn. And now I'm wishing I'd played the tank brigade, sorry. Okay, so D3A2. That's the 5 chats, 2 to 1 odds. Yeah, D3A2. Okay, so 3 hits to us, 2 to them. We'll get rid of this artillery card. Okay, so we've got 3 hits to take. I was just wondering if I can retreat into the city here. We've got 2 units in here, 4 steps. Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure I can, because I could just... I can take a step loss first anyway, can't I? It doesn't matter. I think I can end up with 4 units in the hex. These are going to retreat, and one of them is going to take a step loss, so I don't think we need to bother too much about it, do we? The only downside would be that we would have the unit that comes into the town will be dispersed. But I think I'd rather have him in the city than sitting outside here, because these may well advance to here, and then they're potentially sitting beside a dispersed unit. And I'm pretty sure, if I recall rightly, the only downside to having a unit in a hex with dispersal, unless all the units are dispersed obviously, but if it's just one unit, Yeah, here. Well, in fact, I'm looking at it in the playrate here. Dispersed units can't move, attack, advance, or receive IP, but that's only the dispersed units, right? And then if all defending units start attack dispersed, well, they wouldn't be. It would just be him. But the one that does apply is the unit stack can retreat only 1 hex. Maybe we don't want that threat. The other thing is, what unit am I eliminating? I mean, this was potential to be repaired, and the other thing is a dispersed unit. You can't play replacements on it. Oh no! So that means, well, I've still got this guy, I suppose, from the 6th Army. But do I want to eliminate another Popov unit, really? I think the answer to that is probably no, I don't. I mean, the other thing, have I got any 1-step infantry Popov units? Yeah, I do, in there. That was there, yeah. I suppose there is a slight risk of putting a dispersed unit in the set, but I mean, I don't mean we can retreat them to here or here. I would probably go here, I think, but actually, I don't think I can retreat in the city, can I? Because these do apply to both, don't they? Retreat priorities. Yeah, the defender, whether German or Soviet, in a combat may satisfy. Yeah, but it doesn't say these do apply. So the first priority has got to be a hex not in enemy zone of control. So fair enough, the first retreat can go in here, all right, but the priority is not in the enemy zone of control. So the second retreat cannot be in here, even though it's beside, because that's priority number 2. Priority 1 would be in here or here. No, it wouldn't be there. It's got to be 2 X's away. So I don't have that option. So in actual fact, we're just going to have to go retreat into here to satisfy 2 of our 3 hits. And then, well, we know what's going to happen with the final hit, but I'm not sure who I'm taking it on, to be honest. I kind of feel... like it's got to be the 6th Army guy, but see, he's only a 3 strength on his main side, and this guy's a 4. But the downside to it is, if I leave that guy alive and I eliminate this guy, he's going to be dispersed, and you can't replace dispersed units. Can't put replacement points on dispersed units. So I need to activate the 6th Army within this turn before I could then repair that guy. So he's not going to get repaired if I leave him. It would be this guy. I think I should keep the Popov, to be honest. Yeah, I kind of think I need to, because they're a bigger army, and you know, we're still wanting to try and pick off. We already picked off that unit there. We want to try and do a bit more of that, so keeping this guy around is probably a better option. I mean, obviously I didn't want to lose either of them, but so that's another unit in the eliminated units box, 6th Army unit, and that satisfies the last hit. Right, the Germans do have 2 hits to take, and So the first hit is going to be step loss on the highest selector number. So that's the guy down the bottom, the infantry down the bottom. Takes a hit. 2105 it was, yeah. And then for their second hit, again they've got 5 steps, haven't they? So they're going to take a hit again, aren't they? Second hit, if attacker's steps is less than 4, disperse, otherwise remove a step. Yeah. Well, I mean, I suppose both the other combat was better because we never took any hits. So he's going to take a hit as well. So, but yeah, we did get that out of the fight at least. So they're not dispersed though, so they do have the option to advance after combat. So let us look for that first. In ascending order, obviously it's this guy on the top, and their forward arrow is going that way, so it's not, and this is the attacked hex. So it is not a VP hex. Hex enabling supply. No. No. Hex causing surround. No. No. No, it's not. If they were to advance a second hex, it might be. So no, I don't think they're maybe going to get an advance at all though. Forward direction, well, already said the forward direction is that way, so no. So then we'll look down the next bit, and the next possibility is adjacent to the forward direction. Well, that would either be that way or that way, so no. So that's going to be another route, so, which means they're not going to advance at all. Other route, no. So they're not going to advance. So no pressure put on us here. Yeah, maybe a little bit strange the arrows are going that way. You would think this city down here, but you know, that's what it is. Right, okay. Well, not so good to combat that one. And regretting not playing the tank brigade now because both our units would have survived. Yeah, they would have been both dispersed, but they would have survived. But yeah, you didn't do it, Grant. You didn't do it. Right, what have we still got to check then? This is getting long. I might need to be copying things across. Well, we've got. Let's see if we can finish it. Although we've got another card to look at, haven't we? Right, give me a sec. I'll copy this across. I'll be back shortly. Cheers. Hi all. Right, back to try and finish off this part 64. I'm just looking. We're up to about an hour and a half's worth at the moment, I think. So, and I thought it was maybe going to be a straightforward case of not an awful lot happening now with this bold attack, but just as well I spent a little bit of time having a look because there's no doubt some of you would have noticed that there's now a gap in here and potential for these two units. Right, unit 7 would be next to look at. Well, he's only got 3 strength. He needs 1.5 to 1, so we need to get something where 2 at least, I think. But there's nothing I can get with 2 strength from there. These are what, 5. I mean, okay, hang on. That one is, you've got to remember that one's outside support, so it gets an extra -1. So it actually gets -2. So that's a 3. This is a 3. -1 plus 1. Yeah, for being adjacent. This is a 5. Now this guy's already been attacked, so we can't look at him. I mean, this is a 2, but these guys. Well, actually, no. That's the thing. He can't move, But these units here can get through this gap, and I almost kind of missed it at first. So these have got 5 strength and can actually go 1, 2, breaking zone of control there. Now, don't know if they might be breaking restrictions, that's the thing. 1, 2, 3, 4. They can get into here, and that would be adjacent to, well, it'd be adjacent to these two, but this is 8 strength. However, it'd be adjacent to this, which is 3 strength. And not only that, this unit's active and would join in there. Not that that's part of the consideration for the situation, but so let's just see if these units did move away. Now again, this is the one where actually the lead unit is going to be the 3rd Corps unit, because these were both active, right? And 3rd Corps is, well, they both got selector number of 10, and it's unit stack, but we need a lead unit, and the lead unit would be the lowest core number if the selector numbers are the same. So it's actually that guy that's the lead unit. But if both of them did move to there, so it'd be 1, 2, 3 into there, and then 4 into here, moving away from here now. Because these units weren't surrounded, so they're not breaking that restriction. Where's my restrictions thingy? And they would be exposing this, but these guys are all infantry. Sorry, you probably need to see a bit more of the picture than that. Here, these guys are all infantry. They're breaking zone of control, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. If they were, yeah, they're all infantry from 6th Army, Grant. Yeah, they are. However, I suppose if one of them had been mechanised, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they would be approximate to that town. So that would stop these units from moving. Well, in actual fact, it would stop one of them from moving, because one of them could still have came down. No, he couldn't, because the check is just the unit stack. It's not including this unit yet, that's right. Okay, so is he breaking any other restrictions then? Don't cause Soviet proximity, don't cause any German unit in Hex and Soviet support to be put in dangerous around. Ah, well, possibly then. Yeah. Unless that unit is active and not yet acted. Well, these units were active, but they've acted. So my guess is that by moving away to there, this guy can go 1, 2... Ooh, no he can't. No, he's not going to get surround. 1, 2, 3. He could go in there, but the guy's still got an out here. Has he? Yeah, because we can't get in this hex with anything because of this unit. So 1, 2, breaking zone of control. 3, 4. I mean, ideally, if he could get in there, that would surround them. What about Popov? Remember, Grant, look afar, look from afar. Well, these would then be breaking zone of control as well. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's one short as well. Where's the 7? Yeah, he's down there. Yeah, because we're checking that once these units move there, aren't we? And when they move there, they're actually putting a zone of control. They're moving adjacent to these, so it's costing them 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah. That's right, I think, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6. Yeah. We know we can get to there, Grant, but that doesn't help. We need to get to there. Yeah, I don't see these guys moving, putting these guys in dangerous around, actually. What about these guys, though? Well, first of all, were they in dangerous surround to start with? Well, maybe with that move, it's not allowing me. Oh, I'm pretty sure they are in dangerous round, aren't they? And that goes in there. That goes in there. Yeah, they are actually in dangerous round. So yeah, it doesn't matter if I move. It doesn't matter. And if you're wondering why they would do that, remember that the bold attack did allow for moves ending in dangerous round. If you're thinking that I forgot about that part, so it was all right. We weren't caring about where they ended. Right. So and then if not in dangerous round, don't end move in dangerous round unless. And don't cause Soviet's unit to be unsurrounded. Well, these aren't causing surround on any of the units. So again, if they were to move down to here, they weren't in dangerous surround, or actually, hang on, they possibly are. Yeah, because this guy broke through, didn't he? 1, 2, 3. Yeah, these guys are in dangerous surround anyway. Yeah, I looked and I believe this can happen. So this being the lead unit can move down there, so we can move down to there and we can have 5 strength against 3. He doesn't get the +1 for the IP, like we said. He gets a +1 for being adjacent, and then a -1 for the command value, the Army Group South card. So it takes him back to a 3. So 5 against 3 is indeed over 1.5 to 1. Okay, so yeah, so it is over 1.5 to 1, 1.66 whatever to 1 for them to do that. Doesn't look like they're breaking any restrictions. And now I'm just thinking about this again. The fact these were the lead units, okay, and we're checking the situation. And now this is the first unit. Because then we look at the action. All active units proximate to qualifying target move to target and attack. I just feel uncomfortable about not moving the lead unit first. Come on. And I've looked in the book, and I must be looking at the wrong bit where I'm trying to find this stuff. Checking an action card. How to check lead unit. The unit being checked is referred to as the lead unit. Unit stack, check to see if the situation applies to the lead unit together with all other units in its hex, including active units and non-active units. It does not include units that have already performed an action. And then when it says take the action, if the situation applies, immediately conduct the action described on the card in its entirety. After completing the action, or if the situation does not apply to the lead unit, check to determine if the situation on the same action card applies to the next active German unit in sequence. And then perform an action. If an action card situation description applies to a given lead unit, unit stack, or unit stack and other active units, carry out the card's action once for all those units together. Example, if conducting action card 9, you would move German units participating in the action to the target, conduct a combat. Actually, there's examples of play here. Let me have a look at them. Okay, I do have that wrong, and when I say I have it wrong, that's the bit that was bothering me. It feels like the lead unit should be the thing that does it first. I'm looking at the example of play here, and although I think it's got a couple of glitches in it, the example decides that there's a unit stack that can meet the situation. So then it says in ascending order, you move active units that have not yet acted and are proximate to the target unit adjacent to the target. And then it goes on to say unit 03, which is in the example, the lead unit moves first and goes to the hex, right? Then proceed in ascending order. unit 1, so it's actually not doing that. So it is actually doing the lead unit first, then it would go to this unit, then it would go back in ascending order from then. So you would go to, if this could be unit 30, and you maybe got unit 1 close by, then unit 30 would do its thing first. If it was the lead unit, then you would move to unit 1 and then do them all in ascending order from then. Right, that feels more comfortable to me now. Now I'm just hoping that I didn't do anything out of... I don't think I did, because I think I was considering that when I was moving these other units, wasn't I? I was considering how it should be done. Well, the only move we got was a unit coming down here, but yeah, nothing would have changed there, would it? No. So I think I'm okay. I think I've got away with that okay. So yeah, that example does do it. So the lead unit moves first. We do the check. We find out if the situation is going to apply. Yes. Okay, does the situation apply? Yes. Right, let's move the lead unit first. Not the unit it's stacked with, because I believe that'll be the case in it. Yeah, that's right. Because unit, in the example they've got it's like they've got unit. This is a 3, this is a 5, and this one down here is a 1. If you can sort of get where I'm going. So you wonder, right? Does the 1 go before the 3? No, because the 3 is the lead unit, so it goes first, right? And then this is a 5, this is a 1. What goes next? The 1 then goes next, and then the 5 follows up, right? Well, let's not confuse ourselves, Grant. So, well, he's the lead unit. That's the only hex he can move to that's adjacent, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you can only reach that hex to satisfy the situation. So he's moved there first. So then we need to check the next one in order, which is selector number 7. Now, he's already adjacent, but here's the thing. He's already adjacent, 10.54, already adjacent. During a German attack action, a participating German unit already adjacent to target will move to a different hex adjacent to that target. If doing so causes the Soviet unit to A, become surrounded, B, become flanked. This guy can go out and in and surround this guy. Oh, hang on. He's already surrounded. Yeah, he's already surrounded with this unit moving down. And he's already flanked, in actual fact. Because this unit moving down here, now this guy does not have an out, because this guy's here, so... Yeah, he's actually already surrounded. So he will not move. I was thinking he would go out and in, into there. But the unit's already surrounded, and he's already flanked. So he's actually not going to move. Right, just leave him there then. And then we look at this guy, back at this guy, and obviously he can only reach this hex 2. So although it looks like a bit odd, why not just move them together? Well, I want to do it in the right order, so that's how it should have happened. Okay, and that's the last 3 units we've got to activate. They're all now going to carry out an attack on this guy. That was right, innit? We've got 3 units in there, 3 in there, and then 4. 1, 2, 3, and we had 9 units to activate. That's right. Okay, so now we are going to carry out, like I said, we're going to attack this hex. Okay, the bit that I've got already is an hour and 40 minutes. This is going to be a 2-hour long video, but I dare say some of you probably just run through it quickly anyway, if you do. Right, so we've determined attack. We applied the combat tactics. Right, so we apply engineers. Well, it removes the IP. Doesn't add any strength. It's just removing the IP from the unit. Yeah, we did check all the restrictions. There was no restrictions broken by both the units coming down, was there? The worrying one was maybe that this guy, I thought this guy could be in dangerous round, but he's actually not. And the Popov situation, he would have been proximate before this unit moved into here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into here. But however, with him moving into there, he's then got to spend the extra movement point to break zone of control. So that was quite interesting to see that working. Anyway, right, okay. So engineers is applied, and then we've got, what strength have we got? We've got 5, 8 against 3, so 2-to-1 odds, and just 3 chip pools there. Yeah. Oh, this is all infantry as well. Sorry. No, Grant. That's the unit you're attacking, right? So 1, 2, 3 chip pools. They do have armour. It's us that's only got infantry, Grant. It's alright. Maybe not showing you everything there. So did I count that right? 3, 6, 8. 8 against 3. Yeah, 2-to-1. And 1, 2, 3 chip pools. 1 for the engineers is 4 chip pools, and remember, you still got to draw a card. We do still have the potential to play a card. Right, let's draw German combat tactic screen. Oh, okay, that's not going to hit then. So that's only on defence. It does not shuffle in, so we just discard that. And he does not get an extra chip pool. So, okay. Well, that guy's surrounded as well, Grant, so think about this. Think about this. Maybe this is time for the tank brigade this time. Tank brigade only adds 1 strength, taking him to 4, so it's 8 to 4, so it's still 2-to-1 odds. So, well, I say, I'm still getting 2 other benefits, but that would have been nicer on the cake. If it reduced the odds, I would have definitely went for it, I think. But it is giving me armour in the battle, and reducing a hit. He's only got 2-to-1 odds. We've got a defender adjacent. I'm tempted to just... I mean, although I'm surrounded, I can still retreat. Please. Yes, I can. I can retreat into here. There's only 4 steps in that hex. So I can retreat into there. Yeah, I'm just going to take my chances again. Okay, let's just do it. Let's make a space over for some chits, maybe. Oof. Right, okay, so it's a minimum of 2, maximum of only 4. And, what's he going to break off? He's got 6 steps again. So, again, he's only going to break off at A2. But he needs D4 to eliminate us, so there is that. Right, I'll get the minimum 2 and we'll see where we're at. Okay, there we are. I thought we might get a result with this one. It was 5-to-1 on the front, but greater than or equal to 3-to-1 on the back. He's only got 2-to-1, so it doesn't apply. No artillery played. Right, so 2 more chits to draw, 1 at a time. I'll get the 3rd chit. Result. 4-to-1 on the front, but less than 3-to-1 on the back. We get a hit on him. So keep it going. As long as we don't get a hit ourselves, this could be excellent finish. Right, get the last one. Damn it, he played combat engineers, didn't he? Well, yeah, it's staring you right in the face there, Grant. Yeah, and it's when the attacker plays it, isn't it? It's only attacker, isn't it? Where are we? There's combat engineers. It doesn't tell you there. Yeah, I've looked at this before, Grant. You know, I'll look it up in the book maybe, but yeah, combat engineers applies if the combat tactic has been applied by the attacker only. Yeah. Right. I've been on pause there again for quite some time. Dragged away again. Where I had a bit of a disaster as well. I adjusted one of my lights and for some reason dragged my hand down and scattered some chits across the table. It was mainly the ones in the eliminated units box up there. But I was like hunting about. I think I've got things put back to how they should be. So fingers crossed. First, when looking back on things, I thought there was maybe a second SS unit there, but I don't think there was. Unless it's landed on the carpet somewhere and it's hiding, but okay, I think I managed to get things back to how they are, so let's see, fingers crossed with that. Right, okay, let's try and get this far. This is going to be over 2 hours, this episode, unless I split it up, so I don't know. I'll have a quick look before I start putting it together, but it'd be better if it was all as this one, but we'll see. Okay, so yeah, we had drawn our chits. Yeah, I kind of thought I had a better result than that. We've got A1, D1, haven't we? Right, let me remind myself where we're at here. Yeah, that was the 4 chits drawn. No artillery played. This one applied, and then the last chit we drew, unfortunately, was combat engineers, which they obviously play from the bold attack. So it's D1A1 then. So 1 hit each. We've got to take a hit, and yeah, I'm not even allowed to retreat. Well, I don't think you can retreat into an enemy town anyway. So, yeah, no, I don't have a choice, because that's a zone of control, that's a zone of control, and however, and that's a zone of control, enemy zone of control. This is in enemy zone of control, however, it's beside the friendly unit, so I can freely retreat him into there. I'll just put him underneath, because we're only taking 1 hit, and that's still 3 units, 6 steps in the hex. That satisfies our hit. So yeah, that's fine. That's all fine, isn't it? Yeah, I only had 1 hit to take. So, and then they've got to take a hit. Yeah, so that's not terrible for us at all, really, is it? And they're all 2 steps. Right, now here's the situation then. They want highest selector number. Well, does that mean it's going to be 40 core? It will be, yeah, I guess. Where does it tell you this again? Yeah, back on page 5, unit selector number, and it talks about them. And it says, in the event you must select from units with the same selector, possible between units in different German corps or Soviet armies. Select the unit in the lower numbered corps or army. Right, that doesn't feel like it's matching up, because we're selecting on a negative kind of way here, because we're assigning a German step loss to the unit with the most steps. Well, they've all got 2 steps. Among units with the most steps, to the unit with the highest selector. So how do we do that then? I mean, it does say that if we've got to choose between 2 units with the same selector number, we choose the lowest chord unit. It just feels like what we're trying to do here, it should maybe be the other way about, but well, that's what it says. In the event you must select from units with the same selector, possible between units in different German corps or Soviet armies, which is what we have here. Select the unit in the lower numbered corps. So I'm going to have to say that the hit's going to be taken on this guy then, but well, you know what? In all honesty, this is a 2 strength unit. This is a 3, and he drops to a 2 right enough. So I mean, I suppose if you were going to do it yourself, you probably would pick this one. Right, so I'm going to reduce that one, but if anybody wants to put me straight with that and let me know if I've got that wrong, then please do. So just the 1 hit we had to take, and then, well, a possible advance after combat into this hex then. So yeah, so into this hex, this is a lower selector number. The forward arrow is going this way, so that is an adjacent to the forward arrow this time. Hex enabling supply, hex causing surround, it is not, and it's not in the forward direction. It is adjacent to the forward direction though, so, and no units have advanced already, so it will advance on a 1 to 7 roll. So let's have a look at that. I rolled a 3. So yes, that's annoying, isn't it? We did not want, because now we can't get into the town. Okay, and then these 2 would be opposite the arrow. So I don't think they're going to advance. I think that's another route, isn't it? Hex enabling supply. Hex causing surround, no. Enabling supply, no, it's not doing that, no. Right, so that is going to be another route for the 2 infantry units, so they're not going to advance. Yeah, that's a pity, because if you hadn't advanced, then... Oh no, it doesn't matter, does it? Yeah, we still can't move into that from there anyway. Okay. Well, we've still got work to do here, haven't we? To make it all kind of happen. Right, well that's everything being activated actually. That's that combat complete. We have activated all 9 units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. So the bold attack's finished with. We're not actually going to actually do anything with the advance because we've no more units that haven't had an activation, haven't done anything. So yeah, and then that'll be that. So maybe I can just quickly end this and see what I'm going to do, how putting it together. That's right, eh? Oh, damn. You know what, I might have got lucky here. Sure you's noticed, sure Martin noticed anyway. Should have been also activating all German units and city hexes. I don't think we have any. I think we've got lucky with this. Let's zoom out here. I mean, this city here is Russian owned, and this city is Russian owned. And then Kharkov is Russian owned, and also the one way up here is Russian owned, and Belgorod as well. And so, and the other cities that are in the sort of German areas are all unoccupied. Yeah, there's nothing. Yeah, I've got lucky there. I missed that. Also activate all German units in city hexes. Right, well we've got away with that because I forgot about it. There's no German units in any city hexes. Okay, fortunately. Right, okay, I'll get this finished, I'll tidy the units up and see if I can put this together. It might end up going as 2 parts. I'd rather not do that if I can squeeze it into just 1 part, but I reckon it's going to be over 2 hours long, which it's not the best, but yeah, I might just do it that way. Okay, I'll be back soon though guys. Cheers.